Hello everyone. So as we discussed in our last video that from today onwards we are going to work on convergence, which will have BDC, BAPI, LSMW and IDOCS. So obviously we are going to do that, and today onwards we will be starting BDC. But before that, I want to take a minute and then thanks to all my viewers who are actually following me through this journey, and they are also posting some of the good and motivational comments, and obviously I'm really happy, and I would like to appreciate the same. So guys, any kind of feedback is welcome. Drop me an email on my Gmail ID. In fact, I have been receiving a couple of emails and I have been responding to them. One of my viewer friend, he sent some interview question and I responded him accordingly. Somebody requested for a video on AMS kind of project, so I have uploaded a video on AMS project today. Important T codes, performance tuning, and traces, and also a lot of things are there in this video which were covered as a part of kind of AMS project. And then, as I said earlier, AMS is the future, so be ready to work in an AMS kind of engagement, and this video is going to help you a lot. The other very specific query which I keep on getting, in fact another viewer which has posted it today. So being a fresher, how to get a job in SAP ABAP. So friends, I have explained this long back, I think in one of the videos. One second. So entering into SAP and learning ABAP. So in this video, if you go back to this video, I have explained it that there are no jobs for freshers in India. So it's really difficult to enter into ABAP field or SAP ABAP field, or even, I mean, we'll talk about the complete SAP field as a fresher. It's very difficult. One option is you go to Genovate or you go to Atos and then you do your certification. You pay them a hefty fee, and then if you are lucky, there would be some kind of campus, and then some big company would select you from there on a very nominal package. That is one option. So the second option is, I have already explained that gain a good knowledge, and then your knowledge should be at par with the experience of a guy who is in the industry for 2 to 3 years. So in 2 to 3 years, it's not expected that someone would be a master of the subject. So I mean, obviously this YouTube channel and site and other ways through which I am delivering my content is also, it's basically I'm just trying to help the people who want to enter into SAP world. So, and obviously my agenda is to make available as much of free contents as possible. And then once we are done with our RISEF object, I'll also try to add some real-time objects. If I go to my Google site, in fact I have been keeping busy, and then it's very difficult to find out some time to record a session itself. I have created few links: sample FS, sample TS, sample code review. So I'll be shortly updating these links, I think in coming, I mean next to next weekend, so that you can have a good feeling that what kind of templates we use in a SAP project, what kind of things we do from technical side, and that will give you a proper feeling. So that what you need to do, if you are already working in some other technology for last 2 to 3 years and you wanna switch to ABAP, then in that case you can showcase some experience in ABAP with the help of this YouTube channel, site, and then a lot of other contents available over internet. Try to gain good knowledge again through my channel or any other, I mean, whatever way it works for you, and then appear in the interviews, and obviously you'll end up cracking one or other. So that is the other way, and then probably I would say that is the only way if you want to minimize the investment and then want to get a good return. So this is one way. Obviously the other way is like paying some close to 4 lakhs in Indian rupee and then go to a certification center like Atos or Genovate. So I'm not very comfortable with that one. So if you are not working any other technology, you are just simply fresher, I mean just now you came out of the college, or it's being 6 months or so, then you don't have, I think you are going to have a tough time, because I never promised that by going to my YouTube channel you'll get a job. So you have to be confident, you have to be patient, and then you have to showcase some experience by working in some other company for some time. I mean, at least you have a good gap, and then you try to put in that gap as an ABAP experience. Obviously, whatever I'm talking is like illegal, so I'm not motivating anyone. It's just the way people are doing in India. They try to enter that way in the market, and then obviously later once they gain a good experience by working for some of the clients, so obviously that time they can remove all this and then they can come with a proper resume. So I have been seeing those kind of cases, and then most of the times these guys will come as a subcontractors, and then if they are performing well, they will be retained in the project for some time. They will gain good exposure. I mean, otherwise they will be kicked out. So that is the way. I mean, that is how people are managing, and then that is how freshers has to manage. So technically there are no openings for freshers in SAP in India. I'm not sure about outside market, but outside market is also very different. I have seen people in US. I'm not sure if any friend from US is following me through these videos, but I have seen people in US because I have stayed in US for quite some time. So I have seen people, they will work on Oracle, they will work on SAP, they will work on Java. So it's like seasonal consulting. Whenever there is a requirement, suddenly they will start working on HANA. So what I just told is basically happening across the world, but then in India, IT companies are very, very stringent in terms of background check, and also nobody would like to hire a fake candidate. So it's all up to you. Try to enter into the market as a subcontractor, try to work, try to gain good knowledge, try to be confident, and then I think everything will be fine. So we'll just finish all the gyan. I mean, we'll just move to our next agenda, that is BDC. So we are done with all these things. So technically I would say we are done with reporting. So we are now going ahead with the convergence. So if you had a chance to go through my earlier videos, I think in one of the videos I have explained about the SAP landscape. Yeah, this is the one, sorry. Yeah, we'll go to the previous page. So this is the one, SAP projects, process, landscape, software development life cycle. So in this one, I have clearly explained an implementation life cycle, and in that life cycle I discussed about the cutover phase. So again, to repeat it, I mean, a cutover phase is basically during implementation when we are working on the objects, let's say a report or a BDC which we are going to learn about, or enhancement or anything. So once all the objects are ready, so before we actually migrate everything to production, what we do, we already create some programs, so like BDC programs or BAPs, which we'll discuss again going forward. So what we do, we create some programs which will be basically responsible to migrate the legacy data from legacy system, and then it will be responsible to migrate it into SAP system in SAP understandable format. So this is basically called data migration kind of thing. So data migration would be a part of a cutover phase or a cutover activity. In this activity, 99.9% we will be moving or migrating the master data. So master data is nothing but our the data which is like frequently used but rarely updated, which means my material, my customer, my company code, my plant, my vendor. So these things are, I mean, something which will be used very frequently, but it will be updated very rarely. But at the same time, there is a scenario that, let's say my go live is happening in the beginning of the financial year. So it's like, let's say 7th of April in Indian financial year. So in the duration of 1st to 7th of April, there could be a lot of purchase orders created, a lot of sales order created. So we might want to migrate even those also as a part of our cutover, so that from new financial year onwards everything is available into SAP, and then our users are interacting only with SAP. So no parallel system maintenance is required. So that time we also might want to migrate our transactional data. So there are various techniques provided by SAP to move these these kind of data from legacy. So whatever is non-SAP, we will call it legacy. So it could be like you can feel like it's outdated, but yes, for SAP it's outdated. Obviously it could be Oracle, it could be any other platform, we don't care. So whatever is not, we feel proud, no, to be an SAP consultant, and then whatever is non-SAP we will treat it as a crap. So it might sound funny today because you might not be in the field, or you might not have experienced it, but then yeah, I mean at my level I look it in that way. So anyways, so moving the data, there are various techniques provided by SAP. So BDC is one of them. BDC is basically batch data communication, which means the communication between SAP and legacy system in the form of data which will be moved into batches. Now again, this is like batches means it's like I'm moving 1,000 plants, but I'm moving it's like in a batch of 100. So 100 plants are moved first, and then remaining 100. It's like I'm moving 1 lakh material or 100,000 materials. So I'm just moving it in a batch, like thousands in one batch, another 1,000 in one batch. So based on the plant, like this plant produces these many materials, so I'm moving it in one batch. So that could be one way of getting into it. So BDC is batch data communication. The way it works is, the same way we created a report program, but then we will do a little bit extra activities in that, uh, so that you can accommodate basically the process, the automation of the process. So what I'm trying to say here is that, for example, I have MM01, which is to create the material. So let's say I want to move 10,000 materials during my go live phase. So I cannot go to this transaction 10,000 times and keep on entering the data and create a material. No, that is not possible. Everything we expect to be automated, and that is why we are investing in SAP. If I have to do it, then there is no point in going with such a costly ERP solution. So what we do a recording. We do a recording of the transaction, the way business users would execute it. We will record that transaction. For that recording, there would be a code generated in the backend by SAP. So what we will do, that code will be comprising of the good code and the crap code. Good code means something which is good with our processing, means whatever we want to automate, and then crap is like something else that is recorded by SAP. So we will pick the good code from there and we will put it in our normal program. So what we will do, we will create a simple BDC today, and then I'll be covering a lot of theory and then various other techniques in that maybe tomorrow, and then further we will move to BAPI. So BDC itself is a big topic, though it's not very widely used these days, because uh, there is a BAPI available. Now, what is a BAPI and all we will discuss later, but then most of the time there is a BAPI available. If there is no BAPI available, then only we will go with the BDC concept. But you should be aware of the concept, because first for the interview point of view, and second, still there are so many transactions for which BDC is needed. So that way what I'm going to do is so MM01 is for basically for material creation. I'm going to XK01, this is for customer creation. Sorry, it's for vendor creation. It's my bad. So what did I just type? Yeah, xk01, it's for vendor creation. Then we have vd01. This is for customer creation with bank accounts. So customers and their bank accounts will be updated via this. So a customer create is here. Other one is like xt01. So create customers centrally, same thing. So these are various transactions. One second. Okay. So these are various transactions which are used to create the master data, and obviously we have our VA01 to create a sales order, or ME21N to create a purchase order. So okay, before we move ahead, you need to know one more thing. ME21N. So whenever you see there is an N involved in a transaction, it could be like ME21N, or it could be like VL01N. So whenever there is an N involved, we call it an enjoy transaction, which actually that concept came from ECC onwards, which involves lot of object-oriented techniques, due to which BDC is not created for such transactions. So always we try to find out a BAPI for all the enjoy transactions. So wherever you see a N attached to it, don't go with BDC. So as long as we have VL01 or we have ME21, that is fine. But ME21N, which is extension to ME21, or VL01N, which is extension to VL01, we won't be creating the BDC. So we will be creating the BDC only for non-enjoy transactions, because in the object-oriented concept, a lot of things created runtime in the grid and all, which we will understand later. So the recording is not possible. So we need to have a simple screen which is designed in SAP. We call it module pool programming. We will be discussing it later. So we need a proper module pool screen which will be recorded, and then we will be automating it. So let's not wait for these things to appear. Let's cancel this. So first I'm going to XD03. I want to see a normal customer so that I can create one in front of you. So it's gone. Okay, let's try to do it again. So I'm trying to see a customer with the customer number 3466. Parallelly, I'm opening a new screen. Still it's in process. I think it will take some more time. So okay, so I can see this. So parallelly I have opened xk01. Okay, I didn't open. Let me open this. This is what xt03, so I need to open xt01. So xk01 for vendor, xt03 for customer. Now while we are doing this, we need to understand the concept of external and internal ranges. So external range is something wherein we are passing the customer number to SAP. So let's say customer number 1234. We pass it here. And SAP will create the customer number directly. The other way of doing it is we do not pass a customer number to SAP, but then what we do, we let SAP decide the customer number. So for that, I think I have discussed it some time back, already discussed the concept. We have a T code called SNRO, which is basically consisting all the number range objects. So we will be having different number ranges here, like we had one for delivery, a lot of things here. So debitor is the customer number range. We will just have a look at it. Let's so you can see that there would be an interval maintained like for whatever 4 lakhs to 499999 like this. So what happens, it will go and see which is the latest number range available, and also you can decide it whether it's an external range or an internal range. Based on that, SAP will go and validate the number entered by you. So that is the concept of number range. If you are passing an external, you have made it external here, so that number should fall in this one, in this range, otherwise it won't be considered. If you have made it internal, then SAP will automatically pick the latest number. For example, you can see here 3 lakh, I mean whatever 300 to 3999, the latest number is this. So whenever you execute the transaction again, it will pick the next one as 70. So that is how we create a customer. So let's not pass the customer number here. Let's see how it goes. So we need to pass the company code. Let's give 1000. It enter account group is basically, let's say, sold to party. So we are trying to create a dummy customer. Let's see if we are able to do it successfully. Normally in real-time environment we get the benefit I mean having functional consultants, so they generally help us with the data settings and all. So we'll give the same name with some kind of modification. Give it doctor this. copy all this crap from here. So we entered this. Let it be like this. Remaining things. Do we have anything in control data? I think we don't have anything. Yeah, bank details are here. Payment transaction. Let's copy the same thing. And then if you try to save this, so I'm expecting a customer number to be created. Let's see. So still running. For the first time when we run a transaction, and that too in this local kind of environment, it will take a lot of time because it has to upload lot of program in its buffer. So it's basically it's accessing a lot of things which it didn't access till now. So it will just put everything in the buffer and then consume all the data entered by us and then create a new customer number. So we are just keeping our fingers crossed because creating a data in SAP and then that to an IDES server, sometimes it's very difficult. Sometimes it's easy as well. All depends. So you can see that for company code 1000, the customer 301170 has been created. And if you remember what I just told you, where is my stupid number range? Looks like I'm not there in that screen. Okay. We'll go to SNRO once again. I don't know why it's very slow. And we'll go with the number range debitor, hit on number ranges. Yeah, it's already open, no? So now it's 74. So it gave me 70 and it keeps some 2-3 numbers in the buffer based on the setting. So because we are using an external, we are not using an external number range, so system will automatically go and pick the latest internal number range which is available and assign a number to us, our customer. If we want to provide an external customer, external number, we need to provide it here. Then it won't refer to the number range. So you should be aware of the concept. It's an IBM interview question, very pet question, that if you are creating a BDC, if it's an internal number range, how would you validate? So if it's an external number range, then how you are going to validate? If it's an internal one, how you are going to validate? So internal one, obviously, I mean, we will be having an Excel sheet, and then if we are passing the number range, I mean, we are passing the customer number from the Excel sheet, that means we are passing a customer which will be placed here, which means it's an external number range, so it must be available in the external number range in SNRO. If we are not passing anything, then it will pick the latest number from SNRO, that would be an internal number range. So that is how we validate it. So to create a BDC, and we are going to create a simple BDC today, I don't have that much time, so we are going to create a very simple BDC. Please remember the T code SHTB, and then my computer again gives some problem. SHTB is the T code for recording, and then I go to new recording. I give the recording name as GBDC1. T code is XT01. Asynchronous, cat mode, no cat, default size. So theory we will discuss later. I mean, what is the significance of all these things? It's very, very significant. So hit on start recording. It will come here. This screen looks little different. So what I can do, like if you remember, we had a pop-up here. So the same thing is coming in a different way here. SAP has given that provision. What I can do, I can refer to an existing customer, and then I can copy it, or I can give the same thing which I just provided some time back. So I'm going to give a company code 1000, and I'm going to give an accounting group sold to party. And the moment you get any error in the BDC recording, you just simply quit. You don't even proceed further. Again, go back. So it's very practical issue. I also can make mistake. Start recording. Company code 1000. So account group, I'm hitting F4 here. But in reality, I should not hit F4. I have to pass a data from my file. So sold to party R3 to CRM, that is GAG1. Again, I'll come out. GAG1. So I have a proper data now. Hit enter. You saw that recording running. Title you can give Mr. Name, let's say and then give it like Adi Indian. It will sound little filmy. Street, let's say Victor. Street. City would be HOUSTON, Houston. Leave the district, postal code, let's say 12345. Country is US. Give some nonsense. Language key English. So wherever you see a mandatory field, like if you see here, you can see this kind of checkbox. So this is a mandatory one. You have to enter this. Otherwise there would be an error. So we don't want to see any error absolutely during our recording. Otherwise it will be a problem while we are creating the code. So I entered these things. I need to hit enter once again just to validate if everything went fine. And then it gave me this information message, jurisdiction code could not be determined. It's just a green message. I'm not bothered. I'll hit on save button. So my recording is running. So what we did, okay, I can give another 15-20 minutes. Okay, so so what we did, we went to HTTP, we provided some details, and then we did the recording, we executed the transaction, hit on save button, we came back. So you'll come to this kind of screen. Please try to understand what it says. So we have program, we have screen number, so we have program, screen number, then we have the starting ID, which means basically on that particular screen whether we are working or not, then field name and the field value. So this is the by default structure of BDC: program, screen number, screen name, field name, field value. So program dine pro, dine begin, screen name, screen value. So this is the standard BDC data structure. It's an interview question as well. So program, screen number, starting screen, field name, field value. So what you need to do, you need to hit on save. This way it will be saved. Go back, select this. But before this, I want to tell you one more thing. Let's say I'm going to display this recording once again. So you'll see the screen again. Now there could be a scenario that you want to do the recording in your quality system, but then you want to generate the program in your dev system. So what you need to do, you need to download it. You need to export this in a notepad file. BDC_GBDC1, let's say like this. Go back, create a new recording, let's say anything, Z dummy, start recording, give something, and then cancel this because I don't want to retain this. So you'll come to this screen, do some faltu recording, useless recording, and then import that file. It will replace the existing content, and then that way you can upload this in a different client or a different system, and then you can go ahead and generate a program. I don't need this, so I'm not going to save this. So export and import can be done for a BDC recording. Select this. Now I am on the recording main screen. Select this and hit on create program. Program name could be anything, gtest BDC. So read from file. So we don't have any file. Transfer from recording, yes, we do have a recording. Read from file means I have a file on my desktop, so I need to pass that file here. So I am just going to transfer it from recording. Now you can see a screen view which you can recognize easily. So test executable, hit on source code, local object. And you'll get this kind of automatically generated program. Now if I want to execute this program, I can do that. I can execute this program directly. It will ask me to generate a session or a call transaction. I'll explain the theory in the next video. Select this, execute this. You can see that customer has been created. So why it got created directly because I kept processing mode as N, which means no screen. I don't want to see any screen. So I'm keeping it as A and executing it again. So now it will take me through my recording steps. So you'll get the main screen and you'll get this kind of pop-up screen wherein you can enter your OK code, that is your user commands. /OO means enter. Hit OK. You came here, hit OK. You came here, hit save. So it got saved. The customer address is matching again and again, so obviously you are getting an information message. So now what I was trying to say is that you'll get this kind of dummy code, but then I just don't want to use this code. I want to create a new program. That is how I do in real time. So what we will do, I think I don't have time left today. What I'll do, I'll stop my recording for today. So I hope you are clear that how to run a transaction in recording mode by using SHDB, and how to export and import a recording, how to generate a BDC program like this. And then tomorrow I'll be using this program, and then I'll create a final program in which I'll be calling the contents of this code. And then what we will do, we will create an Excel sheet in which we will upload some of the information, and then we will call it into SAP, and then we will create multiple customers. So that is something we are going to do tomorrow, and then I'll explain some of the theory part, like how to capture the errors, how to capture the messages, and what is the different modes, and also a lot of theory I'll cover tomorrow. So thank you guys, and then see you again tomorrow.